What's up, movie crew? It's that time again. This is where I show everyone what I watched during the month of June. Before I get into that, if you were new to this channel, my name is Luke. This channel is Let's Watch a Movie, and if you are into anything cinema and physical media related, hit that subscribe button. Alright, so if you're new to this, I'm going to show everyone everything that I watched during the month of June. And before I get into that, what I've watched at home, my own personal collection, I'm going to name off the movies that I watched in theaters. Alright, so the first one that I saw was Jurassic World Dominion. The epic conclusion to the Jurassic World saga. That movie was a letdown. Then I saw the latest Pixar movie, Lightyear, and it was also a letdown. Then I saw the Joe Hill adaptation released through Blumhouse, The Black Phone, which is possibly one of my favorite movies to be released this year so far. There's going to be another video coming up soon where I'm going to be ranking my top 5 movies of 2022 so far. And spoiler alert, Black Phone is one of those 5. And last but not least, I'm going to keep this one minimal because I did have to delay on uploading the review, which is David Cronenberg's latest film, Crimes of the Future. For those that have been wanting that one, I apologize. It's been storming where I live, and it's kind of hard to upload a video when I don't have internet. But let's get down to it. Alright, so the first thing, I don't have these individually, but I do have the Steven Spielberg box set. I watched all 5 Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies. This box set contains the original and Lost World. And I did pick up Jurassic Park 3 at Walmart for $7 to anyone that wants to get the individual Blu-ray releases. 2 of the 4 Walmarts in my area still have their Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies up. I want to start off by saying Jurassic Park is a classic. It has earned and deserved every accolade it's gotten. The Lost World might not be as good as the original, but it is still a great movie. I enjoyed it. Jurassic Park 3 is where things start to go downhill. Not a good movie. Sadly, it's also not the worst movie in the franchise. Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom I watched on TV. Jurassic World is not a bad movie, but I saw it twice in theaters, and even the second time around, the rewatch value just wasn't there for me. It's not a bad movie, but it's definitely a one-time watch. Fallen Kingdom is hands down the worst movie in the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise. And I stand behind that. I will watch this over Fallen Kingdom any day of the week. Come at me. Alright. Now that we got that out of the way. The Hole. This is an indie movie from Joe Dante. He is the director of Gremlins and Small Soldiers. This is one of his last directorial features he's done in recent years. For an indie budget, for a low budget indie movie, this is a really good movie. And as you can tell, I got it at Big Lots for $3. I recommend checking this one out. This was really good. It definitely exceeded my expectations. Alright, I am going to try and get these separated real quick. Alright, so for the month of June, Ken at Mid-Level Media said that it was a summer of Cage. I unfortunately did not get in as much Nick Cage as I wanted to. So here is what I managed to watch. Primal. It's alright. Definitely one of the lower tier, in my personal opinion, of his DTV VOD stuff. Adaptation. This movie is entertaining. I recommend checking this one out if you get the chance. It is worth the watch. Nick Cage plays two different people. So seeing Nick Cage do Nick Cage things twice is always fun. Willy's Wonderland, which is probably out of his DTV VOD stuff, this is in my top 3 next to Prisoners of the Ghostland and Pig. It's a fun, outrageous movie, and just seeing him in a role where he doesn't talk at all, like you get a couple of grunts here and there, he does great, and this movie is entertaining. I have watched it 4 or 5 times since I bought it whenever the Blu-ray came out. Kick-Ass! I'm always willing to watch a superhero movie, no matter what. And this one is just a classic. Well, probably not classic yet, but it's on the road to becoming one. And I stand behind that. This was great. Him doing his thing was just awesome. I've mentioned before that this is one of my favorite superhero movies. I love this thing, and the fact that I had an excuse to watch it for the month of June made it that much better. And that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Nick Cage plays the Spider-Man Noir version, and he goes full on Nick Cage in there. And last but not least, 211. It's not bad, but given so many different crime dramas and cop movies out there, this one doesn't really stand out. He does a good job, but the script was kind of bland. No one else in the movie was really on his level. And for someone who's constantly complaining about movies being too long, at an hour and 20 minutes, this one was actually too short. We don't get enough time with some of the characters. We don't get enough time to care about anything. If you're looking for something to just add to your watch list that you know you can get through in one sitting, go for it. It's not a bad movie, but it's not a memorable movie. Windows. I bought this from Shout Factory when they announced they're going out of print sale for some stuff, and I thought this movie wasn't bad. Apparently it had a lot of controversy when it first came out. I understand why, but I don't see it as something as negative as it was perceived when it happened. And I know what else I want to say on this one, but personally, I had no issues with the content of this movie. That's really the only thing I can say. Amityville Karen, directed by Sean C. Phillips. For a lot of you, you know him better as Coolduder. I have a review on the channel. It is actually my most recent video. If you want to go to the videos page, I also have a pinned comment down below for anyone that wants to check out not only the review for this, but also my unboxing video. This was a fun watch. So I was going through some of my Pixar stuff, and I finally buckled down and bought Luca and Turning Red. So I have not really thoroughly enjoyed a Pixar movie from beginning to end since Coco. Incredibles 2 wasn't bad, but it was pretty much a rehash of the first movie. Luca, if you're looking for just a nice feel-good movie, not bad. Is it something I'm going to be rewatching anytime soon? Probably not. Now, I do want to point out, not a bad movie, but it's not something I'm going to be revisiting. And when Lightyear comes out on Blu-ray, I'm going to probably do a Let's Rank video for my favorite Pixar movies. This is probably not going to be on that list. Turning Red. Alright, I want to start off by saying whoever at Disney thought it was a better idea to put this on Disney Plus instead of putting it in theaters, you need to be fired. I honestly think this would have done good in theaters. I mean, look at all the other family-friendly and kids movies that have been getting released. I also felt a little bit of a connection because while I wasn't really into the boy band stuff when I was younger, before I got into metal and hip hop, I was more listening to alt rock, pop rock stuff like Matchbox 20, Bare Naked Ladies, Wallflowers, stuff like that. Some of the imagery that was going on in this movie took me back, I gotta be honest. But the plot itself was really good, and the generational issues that people my age and even the people younger than me have dealt with. A lot of parents need to watch this movie. Simple as that. All right. 5 centimeters per second and The Garden of Words. Both of these are from Makoto Shinkai. He is the director of Weathering With You and Your Name. I'm going to be honest, I put this one in because I haven't watched anything for the day, and this is short. It's 46 minutes. It tells the story itself is very well told. However, it does involve some subject matter that might not be okay for everyone. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not a bad movie, but you've been warned whenever you end up watching this. It is made by the director of Weathering With You and Your Name, so it definitely deserves a watch, even if it's only once. 5 centimeters per second. Good movie, but this is definitely before Makoto Shinkai kind of got into his groove. It's definitely a well-told movie. It's about a little over an hour long, and it's divided into 3 episodes. It's very good. I definitely recommend checking it out. But if you've seen Weathering With You or Your Name, and you're thinking this is going to be on that level, you will be let down. So keep in mind, this is one of his earliest movies. And if you get the most recent physical media release from G-Kids, because I have both the G-Kids and the Crunchyroll release, this also includes his debut film, Voices of a Distant Star, as a special feature, as well as a short film he did prior to Voices of a Distant Star titled She and Her Cat. So you get 2 movies and a short film in this. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, if you saw my previous What I Watched, then you know that I watched heavy metal for the first time in years. During the month of June, I watched Heavy Metal 2000, which was probably my second or third time ever watching it. It's not a bad movie. I do want to point that out. And for those that don't know, these are not the only 2 adaptations of stuff that's based off of the heavy metal magazines and comics. They're just the most well-known, and the other ones are just, let's not go there. Is Heavy Metal 2000 good? It's entertaining. Is it something I'm going to watch again anytime soon? Probably not. Kingsman: The Secret Service. I was watching something. I forget what it was. And it was a role that Sofia Boutella had done prior to Kingsman. I was like, why does that person look familiar? And it took me a minute to realize who it was. And once I did, I was like, it made me want to watch Kingsman. And I still love this movie. Also, for anyone that is wondering, this is the Manta Lab release, so this version of the Steelbook is no longer available. But this was the version that I had, so that's what I picked up. Next, I finished up my physical releases of Young Justice. Alright, I am one of the people that was tweeting out, save YJ, save Young Justice when this got canceled. Because I made it my job to watch this whenever it was on Cartoon Network. And the fact that I know why it got canceled, I'm still not okay with why it got canceled in the first place. I can do a whole video on that. We're not going to get into it. Season 3 is good. Unfortunately, is not up to par with the first 2 seasons. And the fact that it was 26 episodes, unlike 20 that we got with season 2, it felt like a drag a couple of times. Not gonna lie. Season 5 of Lucifer. Alright, now that I've got this, and to my knowledge, I don't think there's any other non-Arrowverse DC TV releases. Expect a complete collection of my DC shows that are not Arrowverse. But we got season 5. This is the one where Lucifer's twin brother Michael comes down and pretends to be Lucifer while Lucifer is back in hell. This was a pretty good season. Only thing I didn't like, and I wish they would have done something, because of what happened in 2020, they had to cease production on the last 2 episodes. And during this time, that was when they renegotiated for season 6. At one point in time, season 5 was going to be the final season. And the season finale feels so much like a series finale. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have Netflix, so I have yet to watch season 6. And that set doesn't come out until September. But I am curious of what they did and how they managed to continue the story, even though this one felt like a finale. The Boys, seasons 1 and 2. I also want to point out I have watched half of The Boys Diabolic, and I plan to completely binge watch season 3 once the finale is up. I love this show. I also want to warn anyone, if you've never read the comics, 1, they're actually pretty good, but 2, if you think that they go across, if you think they cross the line on the show, you might not want to read the comics because you're going to be in for a shocker. That being said, still love the show. Glad it got renewed for season 4. I am very curious of where they're going to be taking the story because I already know one of the things that happened in season 3, which kind of changes the ending from, meaning whenever the show ends, we are not getting the same ending as the comics. Batman: Soul of the Dragon. I have not watched this since I first bought it. And unfortunately, my opinion of the movie is still the same. It's not a bad movie, but they clearly put Batman in it for marketing purposes. They could have told the exact same story without Batman and gotten the same results, making this one of the weaker animated Batman movies to date. Not the worst, okay? It is a good movie, but they could have done so much more with it. I also finished up Batman the Brave and the Bold. I normally prefer the serious stuff, the dark and gritty stuff with Batman, but Brave and the Bold was a nice break from that. And I enjoyed season 3. Yes. The episode where Batman gets to confront Joe Chill in season 2 is probably my favorite episode, but that doesn't mean that this is a bad show. It is great. If you've got kids, it is definitely the most family-friendly version of Batman that's currently out there. And I think that people that like the older comics will get in some enjoyment out of this as well. Mrs. Doubtfire. I bought this a while back at Best Buy for either $3 or $4, and I kept telling myself I was going to watch it. But it does have a little bit of a runtime that made it a little difficult to do so. Finally got to sit down and watch it. Rest in peace to the legend himself, Robin Williams. Phantom of the Opera with Robert Englund. This movie sucks. Simple as that. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. It's not bad, but I can't say it was great either. I was going through some of my Shout Factory stuff, and this was on top of the pile, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch it since it's right there. I watched Deadpool last month, so Deadpool 2. Not as good as the first one, but still a fun watch. Highly recommend watching it. And finally, Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse. Alright, I personally am not a fan of the Teen Titans Go TV series, and DC Superhero Girls just not my thing. It's not bad, just not for me. However, Teen Titans Go to the movies and Teen Titans vs. Teen Titans Go are pretty good. I like both of those movies, so I thought I'm going to check this out because I think I might enjoy it. If you're a DC Superhero Girls fan, you should check this out. If you're getting this for Teen Titans Go, you're going to be let down. But that is everything I watched during the month of June. Comment down below, what have you watched recently, either at home, in theaters, on streaming services. Heck, even name something you watched on your phone waiting for the bus. And as always, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. You like what you see, leave a thumbs up. Comment down below, what are your thoughts on my June watch list? But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching and tune in next time.